everyone, it's Amber, and today I'm going to be showing you guys the books that I'm going to be taking with me to college, which is crazy. I've been planning to do this video and I couldn't film it for a while because I didn't know which books I was bringing, and I still am not 100% sure, but I'm more sure now than I was a couple weeks ago, and this is actually the week that I leave. But when you guys are seeing this video, it's my first day of class, so I'm going to be showing you guys the books that I'm planning on bringing with me to my dorm. I'm just staying in like a regular college dorm with no space, so hopefully I have enough room for my books, at least like under my bed or somewhere. Hopefully I'll find some storage space for these books. I'm not as worried about which books I'm bringing with me because I live pretty close to my college, so I can switch out books at like any time, so I'm not too worried about that. So I'm just going to show you guys the books right now that I'm thinking about bringing. I'll probably end up bringing less. I'm also bringing my Kindle, and I have Overdrive so I can borrow books on there or whatever, so I have infinite access to many books, but these are just the ones that I'm bringing in physical form. The first one that I'm thinking about, this is one that I'm not 100% sure about right now, and that is Half-Blood by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This book is not only very thin and small, but I feel like I'll read it really fast because it's Jennifer L. Armentrout, and I think that this is a good one to bring with me. You guys will see soon I have a fall book recommendations video coming up. I recommended Jennifer L. Armentrout for the fall because her books are so easy to get into and they're very immersive, they get so addicting, and it takes you out of the stress of the school life, you know? So I feel like this will help me. This book is about Greek gods and like demigods and stuff, and that's basically all I know about it, but I think it'll be really good. I don't really care what it's about. It's Jennifer L. Armentrout, so that means I read it. I'm a simple person. I see JLA. I read the book. The next one I'm thinking about bringing is actually, I think, the only contemporary on this list, and that is Eliza and Her Monsters by Francesca Zappia. It's about this girl named Eliza, and she writes this webcomic that's really famous, and she's very famous online. In real life, she has anxiety and she suffers with that. She meets this guy, and he's the #1 fanfiction writer for her webcomic, and he doesn't know that she is the creator of this webcomic. I know that there's some sort of romance involved in this, and there's a lot of like pictures and stuff from the webcomic, which I think is really cool, and I always really enjoy those multimedia type of stories, and especially in contemporary, it really adds a level to it that I really enjoy. Like Morgan Matson, when she does stuff like that, I really enjoy that aspect of contemporaries, and I'm very much excited to get into this one. Next one I have on my list is Our Dark Duet by Victoria Schwab. This one is the sequel to The Savage Song by Victoria Schwab. It's a duology, so this is the last one, and it's basically set in this world where different monsters are created from different types of violence, and the more violent the act is, the worse monster that's created from it. So it follows these two characters named Kate and August is a monster, and Kate is a ruthless killer, and it's very dark, and I really enjoyed the first book. It was a little slow in the beginning, but once I got into it, I really enjoyed it, and I think that since now the story has taken off, the second one's going to be even better. I've heard that it destroys people, so hopefully it doesn't destroy me, but I'm also kind of hoping it does at the same time, because you just want a book to be that good that it just destroys you. But then you get really upset that you've been destroyed by the book, but it's also a good feeling because you liked it so much that it made you feel so much for all these characters and these words. But I'm getting too deep into this. I just really want to read this, and I really want to finish off this duology. It's also a really cool series for the fall because of the atmosphere. It's just very dark and very haunting and very cool, and the world is very interesting. I definitely want to read this in the fall, so I'm thinking about bringing this with me. The next book I have is The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer by Michelle Hodkin. This one follows this girl named Mara, and she's this unreliable narrator. Something happened to her, and she is trying to, like, I guess remember it and figure it all out. I really don't know anything else, but I really want to go into it not knowing anything else other than that, because it seems like one of those stories that's really going to have you gripped on the edge of your seat, that's going to be really addictive, and I'm just looking forward to reading this. This is one that I've heard a lot on BookTube, and I've had this book on my shelf for a little while, so I definitely want to get into this, and I think that this is going to be a perfect one for the fall time because of that sort of element that is kind of like uneasy and you don't really know who to trust, and just seems like it's gonna be so good. So I'm thinking about bringing this one with me, and hopefully I will enjoy it. Next one on my list is A Darker Shade of Magic by Victoria Schwab. This is her adult fantasy series, and it's about alternate dimensions of London where this main character named Kel can travel between them, and there are these 4 different versions of London, and they're all very different. And I've heard such great things about this. I've heard people really love this, and I really want to get lost in a nice fantasy world this fall, and I think that this one is going to be perfect. I'm slightly intimidated by it, but for some reason, I don't really know why, but I definitely want to read this, and I'm going to bring this first book with me to my dorm, so hopefully I can get into this when I'm in school, and hopefully I have time to read it. That's a big thing. The next book that I'm thinking about bringing with me to my dorm is Stolen Songbird by Danielle L. Jensen. This one is about a girl, and it's also about trolls, and that's all I know about it. So I don't really know a ton about this, and again, I don't really want to. I've heard a little bit about it on BookTube, but not too much. I've only heard like 2 people talk about it. So this one I think is going to be a really cool underrated fantasy, which I live for. I love underrated books. If you have any, definitely let me know. I love them. I just think that if you go into it without expecting something big, without expecting all the hype and stuff, you really end up enjoying it more. And I think that the underrated ones are some of the best ones because they have some of the coolest concepts, and I don't know, not that I don't like really hyped up series, but I feel like I have high expectations for this, but it's not quite as high as like something like Six of Crows or Darker Shade of Magic that people have hyped up a lot, that I feel like I need to like them because everyone else does and I need to get attached to the characters. This, I'm like just going into it like I don't really know a lot about it, but I've heard a couple things, I've heard it's good, so I have average expectations. Next one on my list is The Kingslayer by Virginia Boaker. This is the sequel to The Witch Hunter, and I've been waiting since February for this book. And it's been out, but it wasn't out in paperback, and I wanted my copies to match, and also I kind of prefer to read paperbacks. So it came out in June, and I finally picked it up. I haven't read it yet, but I bought it the other day, and I'm so excited to read this book. The first one is about this girl named Elizabeth Grey, and she's a witch hunter, and one day she gets accused of being a witch herself, and this infamous wizard makes her a deal that he will help her get out of her situation if she helps him break this curse that's on him. And this book is just the second one. I think that this is the last one. I think it's a duology, but I'm not 100% sure. So yeah, I definitely am excited to read this one. And the last and final book that I'm bringing with me to school is going to be The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue by Mackenzie Lee. I am so beyond excited to read this. It follows this guy named Monty, and he is on his tour of Europe for his like coming of age. He's in love with his best friend Percy. I just think that this book is going to be so good. I've heard it's very, very funny, and I've heard that it's really, really good. You get really attached to the characters and the ship. I'm just so excited for it. So I'm really hoping to get to this very soon, and this is one that I think I'm going to be reading like in the next couple weeks. So hopefully I will have this read very soon and maybe even have a review on it. So I'm very much looking forward to this, and I'm definitely going to bring this one with me to school. So these are the 8 books that I am thinking about bringing with me to school this year. I think 8 is a pretty good number. I was aiming to do no more than 10, so 8 seems like a pretty good number. Even though some of these are hardbacks, I think having 8 instead of 10 and having some of them be hardbacks makes up for that, I guess, because they take up more space and they're heavier to lug around. Now I'm going to do like a small little update about stuff. So one question is, will I still be making videos while in school? Yes, but my videos, every single video you guys see in September has been pre-filmed. I'm almost done pre-filming them, so they were all filmed in August and July, but I'm going to start filming again in October. I don't have anything pre-filmed for October, so I'm going to be coming home. My college is pretty close to my house. Not that close, but it's pretty close, so I can come home like at least once a month, if not twice a month. So I'm going to be able to film and film for those months. I might have to go down to maybe like 1 video a week, but I'm hoping to still be able to do my Monday, Thursday thing. I think it'll be okay. So I'm going to be still using this background for now, but maybe eventually I'll feel comfortable enough to bring my camera to my dorm and film. I'm not really sure. So I just want to get used to it and get settled for September. And then for October, I'm going to be getting into filming again, so hopefully you guys will really enjoy the videos that I have coming at you guys in September and the rest of August. I've really liked pre-filming them all, and I think some of them are some of my best videos, so I'm really excited for you guys to see these videos. That's about it for this video. Sorry it was kind of long because of the update at the end, but yeah, if you enjoyed it, please feel free to give it a thumbs up. You can also subscribe down below if you want to see more of my videos, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!